All right, so we've got a face that most of you are going to recognize, Mr. Rick Shiels. Welcome to the podcast. It is great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming over to England, guys.
Yes.
It was a perfect excuse for us to make our trip over here. We've been dying to play over here for a long time. And we've got 2 rounds under our belt so far. We're trying to practice and get ready.
You've had tough conditions so far.
Very windy.
I saw your Instagram story from yesterday and your news from West Lancs today. You've had it tough.
We have
had it tough. How many balls did you lose today?
I lost 7 golf
Seven
balls
golf
today.
balls.
I'm not ashamed to tell you that I lost 7
welcome to the UK.
Yeah.
It's tough out here. Why do you think we've managed to make some good golfers?
It is.
It's hard.
That is true.
It's true. It's like we feel like we'll go home, we play much better, have cut our
That's true.
teeth here. You know, it's tough. But congratulations on order. I believe recently you passed 500,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Congrats. That's
thanks so much. Yeah, it's
quite a milestone.
Yeah, it's one of those crazy things that when you first start, you never believe that you're ever going to get into the 10,000 and then 100,000. And then the fact that we've got to 500,000 now or 500,000 worldwide subscribers is crazy.
It is.
You know, there's 63 million golfers in the world. I'll stop making YouTube content once we get that many subscribers.
That's a good goal.
Yeah, there you go. And speaking of YouTube, so why we're here, YouTube Golf Day. What was the inspiration?
I've always felt like I've been very proud and connected to the community of golf YouTubers and social media influencers, let's say. That word, not the greatest influencer, but the idea of being able to bring everybody together and to be able to collaborate and to meet people. It's not been done before. Right. You know, the only time you get close to it is if you go to one of these industry meetings. And what I don't like about those is that you've got industry. Well, you know what? Let's do something on our own back. Let's create a golf day, an event of social media, madness that we can bring all creators from around the planet together. Kick it off with a cool golf competition, loads of fun, loads of cameras, lots of action, lots of exciting things. And not only that, raising lots of money for Prostate Cancer Uk,
Absolutely.
I love this opportunity that you guys obviously come over from the States. We've got a lot of international creators playing in the day. And it's so exciting because I feel like I've watched your content for quite a while, yet it's nice to sit down and meet you.
Right.
Like how many times does that get to happen?
Exactly.
And that's going to happen loads this week. Be able to see creators that you might have admired, you've enjoyed watching their content, to actually sit down and spend time with them. Learn, even just seeing the mock setup you guys have just created.
Right.
Yeah. I think as content creators, you have to be very innovative, and you've got to be creative, and you've got to have that mindset that you want to be able to produce fantastic content. And it's nothing short of that from what you've just set up here.
Absolutely.
Hired a private suite for us.
That's right.
See that?
Yes. Rolled out the
it up
red
right.
carpet. It was in the lounge, but it was still your red carpet.
You've managed to get professional lighting. The camera's on a box, but bar that.
We'll let that pass.
Which we borrowed from a bride who was here before. So we hacked it together.
No, thank you. So it's an exciting day. It's been quick. I only floated the idea in January.
Yeah.
We're in May and it's happening. Like the turnaround time has been super
Well, that's
fast.
the astonishing part to me, how well organized it is, and the fact that you were able to put all that together. How many creators did we end up with?
We've got 45 creators playing that day.
And then spectators, quite a few.
Yeah, 300, 350.
To put that together.
You played golf in front of that many people before?
Maybe at the Pro-Am.
The Pro-Am
maybe.
With Molinari was a whole different. That was a whole different thing. It was a little different.
They weren't watching you guys. They're watching Molinari.
That's all. They were on him.
I figure for this, it's just that many more people who can help me find my ball.
There you go.
I like it.
Right. I like it.
Have you got any left after today?
No. After today, I'm going to have to hit the pro shop and invest in some more. So that's terrific. And tell me a little bit about Prostate Cancer UK and that and how, bringing that piece into it.
For me, the fact that prostate cancer targets what I would see is the huge demographic within my YouTube audience. Male, obviously we're in golf, it is male heavy. Dominant is obviously male heavy disease. And the fact that they have a huge involvement within golf, they also have this real understanding that their target and their awareness piece sits with inside golf because it sits in their male target range and typically over 40s are more likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer. So they've been understanding to know that actually golf and their disease connects quite well. And then once I've been fortunate enough not to have anybody personally that suffered from prostate cancer that I know, but I thought, well, actually, if we're going to create an event that is social media dominant, let's pick a charity that's going to be able to help as many people watching potentially the videos as we possibly can. You know, that was the more message around it. They've been super supportive. As soon as I reached out to them, they were all hands on deck saying, yeah, we'll do everything we can to help support the day. And that's been a huge factor in this as well.
That's terrific. And it makes it, even for all of us, it's just that much more of an inspiration to do it, just knowing that it's yet another way to give back. Because like you say, it really is a community feel. Everything that we've done with even our short time on YouTube, we get that feel to that community. So it feels great to give back. And plus, speaking to what you had said before about these collaborations and having so many of us in one place, I feel like we get a lot of that as a request from the audience in the comments. I want to see you play with him. I want to see you collaborate with him. So being able to do it all together is a terrific experience.
Yeah. And hopefully, you know, we'll see how it goes after tomorrow. Obviously, this podcast is going to go out later than that.
Right.
Sit back, take stock and go, right, what does next year potentially look like?
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Maybe back in the States?
Potentially. Potentially.
I like that.
It's a bit nicer weather.
Yeah, true enough. So other than you, who's your pick to win? Or who do you think will win?
Well, definitely not me. Well, because it's a handicapped event, it's going to be really open.
That's true.
It is. It's going to be very open. And it's going to be, the golf course itself lends a lot of, the favourite's going to be someone who's very accurate off the tee, and can miss on the correct side when needed. Because you guys played here the other day.
Yes.
We did.
Often holes are bordered by water hazards.
Yep.
And as long as you steer away from that, you're okay. Typically, someone who fades it straight off, if you can fade it off the tee and keep it in play, you've got a really good chance around there. Because it's not long, but you just need to miss predominantly more to the right than to the left. Typically.
Gotcha.
So as my pick, I'm actually going to go for, I think, a handicapped golfer. Bar yourselves. Obviously, I've seen you as like the top 2 or 3 picks because of the experience you've had now in the UK.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Lots of, yes.
I mean,
and you can't afford to lose any more balls, so you need to pull it out of the bag.
Super conservative. Right.
I think Seb Carmichael Brown is going to win.
there you go.
So Seb on golf.
Seb.
I've got.
Don't disappoint.
I just
Seb.
think he's playing off. I think he plays off 4 or 5, so he's got a handicap buffer, but he's super straight. Doesn't need to hit it super long. That's not his strength, but I think he could play well.
He's tuning up his game with peers. We see.
He's out on the golf course right
I
now.
see that.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen him practicing on Instagram.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's taking it serious, and you never know too. We could see a surprise from one of the participants who is not a creator.
Yeah,
Come in, maybe a ringer or something.
well, they're
They're going to be playing for their own.
Correct. The grand prize, which I will not disclose just yet because it is pretty special, is for the creator only.
Gotcha.
So there will be then a team element as well, where there'll be top 3 teams that create prizes. That'll be the best 2 from 4 format. So you guys are playing together, and you will be pulled out the hat with 2 fans and followers who have participated or entered to play in the day.
Terrific.
So hopefully you guys get 2 scratch handicappers playing with you.
That would be
Give you no advantage at all.
That's terrific.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm very much looking forward to that. Speaking of kind of how quickly, like I said, this came together. Were there anything that surprised you? Anything that surprised you in planning your first event like this?
Genuinely, the team that I work with, I floated it to them and said, I'm interested in running a YouTube golf day. And they said, you're crazy. It's going to be way more work than you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
They sat over there now. And I said, nah, really? This is going to be a piece of cake.
How hard could it be?
Let's do it. And it's taken up much more time. But I've put a lot of time into it. I wanted to put time into it. I'm very invested in it. I'm very proud the fact that we've managed to pull this off the ground from nothing to get it to where we are. So I've wanted to be heavily involved, but that takes up your time.
Right.
And the thing with me, obviously, the YouTube content, I've got a young family. I felt like I've lived here for the last 2 or 3 weeks, just be able to organise it. But fingers crossed, again, this podcast will come out after the day. Fingers crossed, it comes together, and on Tuesday, sit back and go, you know what, that was worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
The few extra grey hairs and whatever it may be, that was worth it.
Yeah. And it hasn't even kicked off yet, and I'd already considered it a success. We've already raised something like $4,000 for prostate cancer.
Well, yeah, plus the ticket sales, and so the total is 20,000 I'd like to try and raise. I think we're going to get really close to that. Yeah. What's exciting is that the fundraising, the activation, really up to the point hasn't actually started because there's no content that's been created. There's been a bit of build-up content,
stuff, right? Yeah,
but there's not been any actual content of the day. So I think once creators start to make content on the day and start to push that on their platforms, I think there's going to be hopefully a big spike in donations as well, because there's going to be a lot of people, like you guys know, in the USA that are not going to be able to come over here. My audience is 52% USA audience. They've not been able to make it here.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they can watch the video, enjoy the video, and go, you know what, that was worth $10, $20 of my, donation, it'll be massively appreciated.
Yeah, and I think another terrific part is for the people who can't be here, because we're able to do what we can with the social media tools, live. I believe you have live scoring, even
live scoring,
right? And then we're gonna be out there. We're doing Instagram live, so people can watch as we're out there. Facebook live, those types of things. So I think that's a great way that we can use these same tools that have brought them to us, and then bring them along if they haven't been there. Yeah, and being able to do that.
I'll speak to YouTube next year and see if we can live stream the whole thing. But I think that's a big ask.
Cool?
That's a big ask.
That would be terrific. So let's speak about the venue just briefly. Formby Hall. What made you choose this as a venue?
So when I floated the idea again in January, just put a tweet out. I was planning the year and thought, you know what, let's see if there's much interest. I kind of suspected there would be because of the comments, like you say, people saying you should guys all play together and everything. So I put the idea out saying, would anyone be interested if we ran a YouTube Golf Day? And obviously Twitter exploded. Everyone went crazy. Yeah. Formby Hall, within the first 2 or 3 minutes, had messaged me saying we want to host it.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So Leighton, who is the golf events manager here, huge fan of a lot of channels. He's been in his element, speaking to all of his favorite creators who he's watched. He's just a YouTube fan. Yeah. Said whatever we can do, we'll host it. So I was like, okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's handy for me because it's 45 minutes away from where I live. This week, it's the same week as British Masters, which is just being hosted down the road by Tommy Fleetwood. It's a bank holiday Monday here in the UK, so people are off work. Kind of all things lined up, and I thought, actually, this is perfect. A lot of other venues reached out to me and said we want to host it, and it's like tough. First, get
on the list for next year.
Yeah. It's not even first come first serve. It was everything. It was the fact that they were so supportive. We came down for the first meeting. They brought the hierarchy, the director of golf, the managing director here. We sat down and they went, we want to host it. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, this is the greatest ever. And they've been unbelievable with us. They really have. So massive shout out to Formby Hall.
Yeah, and we've had a taste of that because we got in yesterday morning, and we're staying here at Formby Hall. We played the course yesterday, and everyone has been incredible. Yeah, even absolutely. Just down to this, being able to do the podcast here and everything. It's been an incredible team and experience.
You'll have to ask next time whether you can use this room.
Yeah, next time we'll ask.
You're like, thanks Formby Hall for letting us use this room.
we just slide that occupied over.
Right. So funny stories. When you announced this, originally we said to each other, we got to do this. Yeah. This just sounds like an amazing opportunity. It sounds like a great event. We're coming to Scotland in a month for a full week. He has 2 daughters. I have 2 daughters. Wife, family, everything. We said we can't go over across the pond twice in 4 weeks. Yeah,
because we had Scotland already booked, and then this came across.
And we said, no, we got to do it. It looks awesome. We've met Eric Andersline, great guy. We've met Andy and Piers and Seb and Peter, and said just a chance to come over that we've never met you.
Well, that was it, wasn't it? Really, that was the icing on the cake.
That was it. Exactly. That was really
I get
that. So we're just stoked.
It was the 500,000 subscribers, weren't it? Really?
Yes, it was the big number. No, it was surprisingly it was our wives too who said, no, you got.
Our wives were very
because we kind of go to them, we like, I know it's another trip. But they're like, do it. You got to do it. And what Mike said was, and I remember him saying to me, it's like, this is the first one, Frank. We got to be part of the first. Yeah. So
there'll be a waiting list for next year's, hopefully. Well, already, if I'm honest, I reckon we could have doubled the amount of content creators that wanted to play in the day.
Wow.
I think probably over 100 people applied, but it was like, getting time on the golf course, getting all those creators in there, and I wanted to keep opportunity for fans and followers. So there was always going to have to be a cut-off point, effectively. And that cut-off point came about 9,000 followers, let's say, collectively, or 7,000 followers collectively. So it's like next year, if we opened it up even bigger, but all channels are going to get bigger as well. Where this year we've got a total reach of the creators playing in the day is 19 million. That's the total reach. Hopefully next year that gets up to 30 million, 40 million, because not only have all creators got bigger on the platform, YouTube's not slowing down, but also we're going to be able to get other creators in and playing in the day, even if we went over to the States, I think that opens up the door hugely to some of the big creators. But weirdly, in golf, I don't know what you guys see, how many creators are in the UK?
It seems like
a lot of creators are in the UK.
Yes.
Actually, the comment we heard, what was it, at the PGA show maybe 2 years ago?
Right.
Someone recognized and said, it's nice to see a creator not from the UK. And we were like, really? But this was a while ago. We see a bunch of other names out there. Like Eric's doing a great thing. I know you're good friends with him, and some of the other guys out there. But yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
especially when you think about the total market, the total golf market. It's so massive in the US.
Huge.
But we were playing with some guys from the UK in our round earlier today, and we were trying to say, but the UK audience, golf audience, they're just so fanatic, they're so engaged, and there's just such great, people to be involved in the game. And even us, I mean, we as we see our following, we're seeing a lot coming from the UK, and a lot of people are asking us, when are you going to come over and play here? And I think that's just great, just to see them kind of pulling you this way too. Yeah. That's why it was a great opportunity for us too.
Just a shame that flight's not just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
You're on the right side of the country anyway, aren't you?
It was like 6 hours. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. Plus, we could do some editing on the way home.
Bring Concorde back.
Yeah,
we brought Concorde.
2 hours. That's just a commute at that point.
Exactly.
Right. We'd be in and out.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. So again, I mean, we wanted to get a chance to sit down with you and get a little bit more of the backstory, because it kind of felt like it was so well done. It was so well organized. But what really impressed us for being the first and being this well put together. And we appreciate you extending the invite and having us.
No, it's great. Like I say, I'm excited to see after tomorrow, sit down. Hopefully it's been a success.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
And be able to sit down and go, wow, that was cool. Yeah. From an idea, and that's really effectively why I create content. You think of an idea, you think about how that is going to turn out, you have your preconceptions of how you want that to turn out, you plan it, you organize it, you shoot it, which is obviously the plan of the day, you edit it, you post it, and you see what the benefits are, and you see how the audience likes it and reacts to it and comments and shares it, etc.
Right.
Well, this isn't that different. It's just on a different scale.
Right.
It's just a golf day.
Right.
The idea was there. The planning was there. The execution's been there. The actual editing or putting together is actually playing golf tomorrow, weirdly enough. So it's a slightly different order. And then hopefully, come post event, you can sit back and go, there you go.
Yes.
Did everyone enjoy it? Yeah, great. Right. Or, whatever it may be. So I don't think the process is that different. It's just on a very kind of alternate routes.
Right. There will certainly be a lot of cameras out tomorrow.
I hope so.
But that's what I like too, is the fact that we're able to see here, we're as independent creators, we're all out shooting our own thing. But here we're all filming the same thing. And yet there's going to be so many different approaches to it.
So many different.
That's what's so cool, is that you see how each lens, so to speak, everyone is able to put their own style to it, do something a little bit different with it. And I think that'll be great for us to see as creators, and for the audience to see how each person kind of puts their own little bit of a take on the same day in the same event.
Yeah, well, can I first off say I cannot wait to see your interpretation of the day.
Oh, thank you.
I think you do some great edits, and you shoot some really cool content. So it'd be really, really insightful to see what your take and the post edit of the event will look like. So that's something I'm excited to see.
Well, we're going
no
in
pressure.
With
thank you. Yeah,
no pressure
We're
at
going
all.
in with no expectations of winning this thing.
Right.
We know full well where our capability is.
We don't want a killer score.
But
we want a killer video.
We want a killer video.
Correct.
We're gonna have fun. And as well, I'm looking very much forward to seeing what you do with this. And we've been enjoying your content for so long now.
Oh, thank you.
It's so excellent, so well put together. So
yeah, and if you're one of the 62,500,000 golfers in the world not following Rick, throw him a subscribe. Let's get him to 1 million by the time we're sitting here next next year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming over.
And thank you for your time as well. Thanks for the invite and thanks for taking the chance to sit down with us. I know you're a busy man right now.
It's all right, don't worry. you making me sit here. It's not packing goodie bags or putting banners up and things like that. So I'm all right. I'm happy to take a half. Yeah, this is cool. This is a chill out time for me.
Break.
Yeah,
cool.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy tomorrow. Play well.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and make sure you donate to Prostate Cancer UK, and make sure you're around for next year's golf day.
For sure. Even bigger than this. So thanks, guys.